Hello everybody, take a look what I'm showing you today. What you have right in front of you, this is the Cold Steel Garden and Camp Machete. And this is really a low cost machete that Cold Steel came out with. And in reality, it's not much of a machete at all. It's actually more of a grass whip. As you can see, it is a full length machete, but only the very end of the machete, you can see right here, is actually sharpened. And if you can't tell, let me hold it at an angle for you. You'll notice the blade comes at like a 45-degree angle at the end, and it is meant to sweep along the ground and to chop down weeds or grass in this case. And so that's exactly what I bought it for. So let's take a look at the edge here close up. Most Cold Steel machetes do not come with an amazing edge, and this one is no exception. I'm not going to touch it up before first use. I just want to see how it works. It is actually kind of a chisel ground, so it's completely flat here on the bottom side. And it's not dull, but again, it's one of the real rough edges. You can feel the burrs on it. One of the real rough edges that Cold Steel machetes come with. And so I'm going to try this out, and this is about the least tactical of a machete that you can get from Cold Steel. So you can see the logo right there, Cold Steel, South Africa. Handle is like any other one. It is that plastic style handle. It has kind of a grippy texture on it. We'll see how it holds up. Back side right there, I don't know if you can see that, Garden and Camp Machete. Has that black coating along the blade like all Cold Steel machetes do. So, the main reason why I bought this one is because I have a small patch of yard that really has some overgrown weeds, and not really worth busting out a weed eater for, you know, with all the gas and the pull chain nonsense. So I want to see how this does, and if it works well, you know, then I think it's earned its keep. So I'm going to try it out there, see how it works. So, it doesn't come with a sheath, keep that in mind. It just had this paper sleeve that it came in, and you can see the angle, of course. And it was wrapped in quite a bit of bubble wrap. And this was on Amazon, less than 11 bucks, I want to say like $10.89, so really cheap. So, let's see if it's worth anything. And just real quick, here's the area that I'm going to be weeding with the Camp and Garden Machete. As you can tell, it's a bit overgrown, but it's really not a huge chunk of area. And this is kind of snake season right now, so I think it's a safety hazard to leave this up, especially with the dogs running around. And so we'll see how it handles these kind of thicker weeds like you see right here. I'll touch up the edge if I have to, but I'm just going to see how it works out of box. I'm not going to show myself cutting with it because that is just a safety issue. So we'll see it before and after. Alright, about 15 minutes later, same area. Alright, so after using the machete for just a really short length of time, I can easily say it does exactly what they advertise it to. It does cut right through grass and weeds. The bend, of course, makes it easier to whack at those weeds on the ground level. You don't want to keep in mind, though, that this is a variation on the traditional grass whip, which uses kind of like a golf club motion to cut the weeds, whereas this one you do have to bend over a bit to get the right angle to chop them down. The blade held up just fine. I do have rocks in the area I was cutting, so there is a little bit of damage right on the edges where I hit, you know, large rocks. Might be able to see that there. That should be able to sharpen just out without a problem. I believe it's 1055 carbon steel, so you should be able to sharpen it. Still has a nice little edge on there, and this is right out of the package, so the factory edge on this machete was acceptable. It did admirable job out there cutting out the weeds, so that's great. What I would wish Handle wise, handle's a bit small for what it is. I wish it was a little bit longer. They could add more length to it, and honestly, length on this would be a good idea. It means less stooping, less bending over while you're making the swinging motion. What I might end up doing is wrapping some cord on this part of the blade itself, because this is completely unsharpened on both sides, and would be a nice place to kind of choke up if you needed to choke up on a few swings. So that would be my only suggestion, to make the handle a bit longer. But for the price, this was less than $11 shipped by Amazon. So if you have Prime, you know, take advantage of that shipping, of course. Really good deal for the price. And so for small patches of ground that you don't really want to bust out a weed eater for, this is kind of ideal. So not a bad product at all. Not tactical at all, cold steel, but that doesn't need to be the case for every product they make. So just be careful if you have a lot of rocks in the area that you're going to be cutting in, because the edge, as you can see there, will roll once it hits a rock. But yeah, nice little product. Very cool. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please do let me know. But other than that, thank you.